As I mentioned before, the long-term answer to crime and poverty is opportunity, and the short-term answer for opportunity and crime is education. To reinvent Stockton, we have to build a continuum of supports that support our young people from cradle to career. It's great to hear these stories like those of Brad, but we also must do more to help those students before they ever start off on the wrong track. Our children are our most precious resource. We must invest in them and provide support needed for them all to succeed. Did you know that in all 4 of our school districts, over 60% of students who graduate don't meet the requirements to even apply for a UC or a CSU? Yes, throughout our city, in Lodi Unified School District, Lincoln Unified School District, Manteca Unified School District, and Stockton Unified School District, the vast majority of our students can't even apply to a CSU Stockton if it was going to be built here today. And that goes to explain why, according to the Brookings Institute, of the top 100 metro areas in this country, we are 99 in college completion, with only 17% of all of our residents possessing a bachelor's degree or higher. In Stockton, I'll be frank, we have to do better, because we all win when all of our children do better. So to that end, in January, in conjunction with the Reinvent Stockton Foundation, we launched the Stockton Scholars Initiative, an ambitious effort that seeks to triple the numbers of students who graduate college and career ready in our city. With an initial $20 million donation, for the vast majority of students, starting next year in Stockton Unified, CSU tuition will be essentially free. And we seek to send a clearer message to the city that we have high expectations, high standards, but to our young people, if you do everything we say, you go to school, you do your homework, you stay out of trouble, when you graduate, tuition and fees won't be a barrier for you pursuing your higher education at a 4-year school, at a 2-year school, or even at a trade school. Because I truly believe that our children, our students are definitely worthy of investment. So I've done the initial work. I've done the initial work. We have $20 million, so for a decade, every kid who graduates from Stockton Unified is guaranteed a scholarship. But to reach the whole city, all 4 school districts, and to do that in perpetuity, it's going to cost $100 million. So I raised the first 20 without any of your help. But to get to 100, I'm going to need each and every one of us to dig deep and think about if we really value our children, if we really want to see economic development, if we really think that all our children are smart and talented and just need the resources and opportunities, then we have to find a way to grow the pot so that kids in every school district can benefit from the Stockton Scholars gift. It was students like Mercedes Oliver, one of this year's winners, that I have in mind when I'm talking about the great potential our students in our city have. She wrote, "A higher education gives me the opportunity my parents never had. Despite financial difficulties I faced, I want to go to college to better myself and demonstrate how I can make a difference in the world. I can demonstrate to others that the environment I grew up in does not affect my chances of success. My career goal is to improve the lives of others, especially children." And it was principals like Brian Biederman and people like Stockton Dev Hassan Ali I had in mind when we launched the Principals Challenge, to give $50,000 to principals to think through ideas that will make their kids more ready for college and career when they graduate. Hassan's a former Edison student, valedictorian, went to UC Berkeley, got his education, then decided to come back and start a company that helps children with the most learning disabilities learn and do better in school. So Hassan and his former principal have teamed up to create a program that hopefully will boost achievement and attainment at Edison High School. And since the exciting announcement in January, several donors have reached out to support our efforts. Earlier this year, Wells Fargo gave $50,000 to the cause. The Duffy Family Foundation gave $25,000. And earlier this month, PG&E announced a $500 million contribution to support the scholarship program, and another $500 million to support educational initiatives in the city. So give it up for them, please. Last night, at the Save the City Eve, I announced that we were also able to get a gift from the Donham Foundation, a family foundation who's contributing $1.16 million over 5 years to create a new program called the Sherman Scholars. This program will go to any student in any school district, Manteca, Lodi, Stockton, or Lincoln, provided they get into a UC or any other top school. And that's very encouraging because the Donald Foundation is not based in Stockton. They don't do business in Stockton. They don't personally benefit from Stockton doing well. But yet they were so inspired by the commitment we're making to our children that they put $1.16 million in the pot. So thank you to them. And today, I'm excited to announce another exciting contribution, this time from a local source. We just got word that the Stockton Scholars Program will be receiving $1 million from the Alex and Faye Spanos family to support the program. And I know Lex, you're here to represent your family, so thank you all for your leadership and your contribution to Stockton's future. And this passion from education comes from two beliefs. One, that talent and intellect is universal, is evenly distributed. You can find it in South Stockton, you can find it in Down Avenue, you can find it in Brookside, but oftentimes resources, opportunities are not. And that the best way to improve this city is investing in our people, especially our young people, and giving them the tools needed to succeed. I'm proof positive of this fact. Again, literally 10 years ago, I was a senior at Franklin High School, trying to figure out how would I apply and afford college. Now, 10 years later, I was able to get 2 Stanford degrees, and now I'm back in Stockton working with you all to make our community better. But think about this. That's one person. Times that by the 40,000 kids in Stockton Unified School District and the 40,000 kids in our other school district. And that's something to rally around and get really, really excited about. And over the past several months, Councilmember Dan Wright has been doubling as the interim superintendent of Stockton Unified Schools. So Dan, while speaking about education, I want to take this second to say thank you. Being the council member is tough enough. Being somebody's superintendent is probably tougher. I'm not sure how you did both, but I thank you for your partnership and laying the groundwork for our new superintendent, Dr. Deasy. So thank you so much, Councilmember Wright. I also want to take a moment to say hello and welcome to our new superintendent, Dr. John Deasy, and congrats to the Stockton Unified School Board for unanimously selecting a new leader to lead our schools. I look forward to continuing our partnership and making sure that Stockton becomes a model for what kids in urban communities could do, provided they get the right resources, opportunities, and inputs. Because it's critically important that we increase our numbers of individuals with a degree. Studies show us that nearly 40% of jobs will require higher education in just 12 years. So for our current kindergartners, 40% of jobs waiting for them will require some sort of degree. And if we don't change course quickly, 12 years from now, 13 years from now, they'll be stuck in menial minimum wage jobs. And that's not what we want for our children or for our future. And that's why I'm not only interested in supporting kids and going to college, but doing everything we can to bring a CSU or a UC right here in Stockton. I'm so thankful for the leadership of Assembly Member Susan Aikman, and as we said in our joint op-ed, the time is long overdue for the state to build a new university, and it has to be. No question about it, it has to be right here in Stockton. She has a bill. Are you gonna clap for that? All right. She also is working on a bill, Assembly Bill 27771, that calls for $7 billion in university bonds. This bill will provide the funding for needed maintenance at our CSU and UCs and for construction of new campuses. And if passed, it will be another game changer for our community. So in addition to investing in students and in scholarships, we are also doubling down on our efforts to provide our children with more pro-social activities. Thanks to you all, and with the passage of Measure M, we have been able to open Arnold Rue Micro Library. We've been able to provide more staff to support expanded library hours and recreation programs. We're planning to build a library and community center in North Stockton, and starting July 2nd, we're expanding hours, including evening hours, Saturday hours, and reopening community centers on Mondays. We have been closed on Mondays since 2009, so that's a big deal, and thank you, John Alita, and your staff for making that happen. We are also beginning plans for state-of-the-art aquatic facilities at Oak Park, McKinley Park, Victory Park, and we're working on building soccer pitches on vacant tennis courts. Finally, it's not just the city, it's not just the scholarships, but you all have been doing a lot of work to invest in young people. I am so pleased by the efforts of this community to establish a Boys and Girls Club in the Western Ranch area and back on the east side part of town. These efforts will bring back vital enrichment opportunities for our youth, and there's a long-term plan for a 20,000 plus square foot state-of-the-art facility. And I agree, our kids deserve nothing less than the best. So over the next several years, we still have to add to our support for young people and work on early inputs and interventions to make sure that kids enter school ready to take advantage of the Stockton Scholars Program, to make sure that we screen for adverse childhood experiences, to make sure we expand access to home visits and affordable childcare, preschool, and other supports to build a true pipeline that supports our residents from cradle to career. A community that rallies around its youth, rally around its present, and its future. And oftentimes, after we invest in students and they go to college, they head to Sacramento or the Bay Area for a career. And I know, because that was my plan. I never thought I was going to come back to Stockton. I thought I had to leave Stockton to get an education and get a job. And for the kids in our schools now, I want something different. I want them to understand that Stockton is not a city to flee from, but a city to be from and to come back to if you leave, because we'll have plenty of jobs and opportunities for them to use their considerable intellect if we make the right decisions and investments now.